Fuck this shit. Let's get out of here, dude. I've had plenty of Hayward. I'm cool. It just never ceases to amaze, dude, the shit. It's like I pull up on a gas station and it's like, all right, you know, it's like a no-name, literally like a no-name gas station. So I'm cool with that. I go to plenty of no-name gas stations. So I pull up to the first pump and I have to like back in because it's so fucking crowded at 8 o'clock at night. And it takes my card and then it lets me select the fuel, which is 91. And no pumpy, dude. No nothing. Tried everything. And sometimes people will set shit like that up, and then you'll hear them squawk over the squawk box like, you have to come in and pay. And I never do that shit, because that's like to a T, dude. Someone's running fucking cards, and what they want to do is they got a little tapper or a little swiper or a fucking camera underneath the counter, and then they collect your credit card number, and they do that shit all day long. They might pick up like 300 credit card numbers. They do that shit like a month. They get like 900 credit card numbers, and they go and sell it to some broker. And then they sit on it for 3 months and he sells it to someone else. Next thing you know, in Miami, Florida, someone's running your fucking card. And then you got to deal with all that shit. So I was like, all right, you know, so I back it up and I go to another pump. It's like, all right, fucking maybe it's just the pump. And that fucking pump takes my shit. And I was a little worried about canceling. You got to properly cancel out your first transaction or else the next motherfucker will pull up and just fill his car up on your card. You might not even notice, dude, till you're $100 in the hole. Gas stations and sketchy spots oftentimes won't let you put more than $50 in, shit like that, for fraud. And it starts pumping at like a fucking quarter gallon a minute. So like 4 minutes in, I've got a gallon, dude. Like 8 minutes in, I've got 2 gallons. I was fucking there for 10 minutes and I got exactly 2.5 gallons. So I got a quarter tank, dude. Not even that. Not even a fucking quarter tank. I got exactly enough to drive the fuck home and go to my gas station. While I was there, like, dude pulls up in a fucking sketchiest fucking mini bike you ever saw. It's like no lights, super fucking loud, definitely not street legal, fucking revving it up and shit. It's like, alright. Another dude fucking pulls out, doesn't have his lights on, no headlights, no tail lights, big fucking taking off with a burnout. Like, alright, you know. Did I miss my freeway on ramp? I did. So here I am heading to work, all fucking distracted. Roll through, check a couple other spots, like just it's not dangerous, it's just a little bit off. Like, I rank it as don't get caught slipping. Don't leave your fucking car unlocked. Actually, it doesn't have that. It doesn't particularly have that feel. It just has the feel of volatility. Like, if the situation changes, it'll evolve quickly. Like, no one there is fucking around. Oh, let's see. Let's get back on the freeway. That's to east downtown. I don't know. Let's go this way. Check out some more Hayward. It's the other side. Ultimately, I like to get back on the 880 freeway. That'd be fucking nice. But we're gonna do a little tour. Since it's already like 8:30 at night, dude, I'm gonna fucking go to bed hella late. Doesn't matter. Okay, we've got another couple gas stations over here. Name brand. I'll be coming this way next time. That was a fucking waste of time. People are out. A lot of people getting off work late. I'm seeing fast food, liquor store, pet food, coin laundry. Now we're into apartment complexes. It's pretty cheap out here. I'm wondering how many people handled that gas handle today. Oh, there's Rotten Robbie's, dude. How can you go wrong with that? Rotten Robbie's is real hit and miss. Been around forever. Here's some kind of school. They got a real big spend on the Mount Eden High School. They put a lot of money into the solar system of the parking lot there. Nice solar array. I love how they're doing that at all the schools. Looks like they got a big football field. They got big fences. Schools didn't have fences when I was a kid. I mean, they did, but all the gates were open. You know, like there weren't gates. There was just like general property line fences. Schools are like fucking penitentiaries now. There used to be open campus when I was a kid. You could leave school. You could just take off at lunch and go fucking buy a sandwich down the street, smoke cigarettes. Now, keep you cooped up in there, sell you fucking Taco Bell and shit. Alright, where are we and what the fuck is going on? Let's try left. Find out soon enough, huh? So let's see. East, there should be one major crossing. I crossed it to Hesperian. That means the freeway should be to my left. Lots of truck yards out here. Lots of real estate. There's Costco. Oh, that's where Costco's at. All right, now we know. Go over there and get a Costco fucking pizza, dude. Like $8 or something. Costco pizza's cheap. It's not very good, but it's cheap. I eat it, dude. You'll learn to eat everything that's fucking cheap and free. Let's get the fuck out of here. I don't want to live in Hayward. Look at that moon, dude. I mean, I might as well live in Hayward. I've been here since fucking 10 o'clock this morning. And it's at 8:30 at night. Yeah, there's a freeway. More trucking. Tons of truck depots are out here. That's what they use their property for. Logistics. And serving the port up the street in Oakland. Port of Oakland's a big port, dude. I mean, not by big port standards, but I mean, it's not small, dude. Alright, so let me rectify that. As ports go, the Port of Oakland is not a particularly big one. There are much bigger ports that serve the inland. But as like logistics centers go, relative to everything else around, there's a lot of logistics at the port, right? A lot of trucks. We buy a lot of shit out here. We don't ship all that much. Remember like the giant container glut? Where like they had so many fucking containers they got into gridlock because shit was only going one way. That's not a good sign. Well, I hope you liked your tour of Hayward. My voice is going up. Oh, nice. Fast track's open. Open to all. Welcome to Hayward, California. Now we're coming to Union City. There's Union Landing. I think they have a indoor skydiving over there. There's a Habit burger grill. As far as fast food goes, that's a pretty good bet. It's not the fastest, but it's better food. Like, I like eating at Habit, dude. That's fast food I like. I should call it a franchise more than fast food. It's kind of like fast food the way Togo's is fast food, you know? Like Subway is fast food. Togo's is a franchise. McDonald's is fast food. And Habit is a franchise. So, like up ahead in Fremont, Outback Burgers is a franchise. Shit's expensive, dude. It is not cheap fast food. And it's not fast. It's not fast, and it's not cheap. But I like it. The fries don't taste like chemicals. The meat seems somewhat natural. The lettuce is crisp. The bun has some personality. The sauces, the cheese, the fucking bacon, the barbecue sauce, everything is good. Or it pleases my palate. So what the hell were we doing this morning? We did the State of the Union Q1. And today was a good day. I felt good about today. I don't always feel good about a day at work. And that fucking sucks. Nobody wants to go to work and not feel good about their day at work. All right, because how many days can you do that? If they're, round trip, 14, 16-hour days, if you're having bad days, after about 7 of them, call me up and tell me how you feel. I see guys wash out all the time. So, why was today good? Well, I got a bunch of guys helping me, and they got a good jump on some shit I'm building. And so I snatched it from them. Because I just want to build something, dude. Like, sometimes I'm fucking tired of going to meetings and fucking giving, updates and shit. I like to just build something. So I set my phone down. Like today, nobody knows this, no one noticed but my wife. But I left my backpack at home today. I happen to have left my lunch too. But I didn't even bring my laptop to work. I did not even open a computer today. I was on my phone a lot, but I didn't open a computer. So, electrical engineer, with a degree from Stanford, I can do all kinds of shit. Just worked a whole day in Hayward, didn't open a computer. Building the tools that make the tools that do fucking work, dude. Got one finished out, took a risk. I broke some rules today. Whenever you have communication, it's like a transmission line, right? There's some balance to it. You got some twisted pair, you got some, maybe terminating resistors, whatever the communication protocol is, it's got rules. Like for CAN, you can't have a node longer than one shaka. And for, SPI, you can't really go farther than like a foot safely, like maybe a few, like SPI is supposed to be like a few inches, dude, like on board on a ground plane, dude. You're not supposed to send it around. And sometimes you can, you can drag it off the board, but not too far, like USB, like maybe 5 feet, you can extend it 12 feet, but dude, you're not going to hit the fucking standard. So for test, you don't usually have to go full speed, in fact, most of it's pretty fucking slow, just because it's going in lockstep. So I took something that was supposed to be balanced, and, we're supposed to be 1-to-1, and I fucking Y-split it, and this avoided for me, like I have to automate everything, and so any kind of manual activity like switching things doesn't work. Like if there's a switch and you got to switch it back and forth, or power cycle or something like that, I got to tag into that and put a relay or a MOSFET on there, right, and automate it. If there's some kind of plugging and unplugging activity, I got to put that on a relay matrix, right? I can. There's no manual stuff. It all has to be automated. So sometimes you can cheat it and just split a cable, and it's not product. It's a tool. So if it works, it works. So I fucking totally took something it would make any kind of high speed expert just start gagging, dude. Think of it this way: if you have a transmission line that's rated for a meter or 100 meters, and you go and just tag off of it directly, if you go, you got some Ethernet cable, right? And the guy next to you has a switch he's plugging it into to tag off more Ethernet cables, but instead you just fucking cut into it. You know what I'm saying? And it just fucking tagged off 8 wires. Shit will not work, dude, but it does. It's not supposed to. I've done all kinds of real janky shit with Ethernet. You'd be surprised. It is a robust standard. It can tolerate the packet loss. So what happens is you add an echo chamber. It's kind of like your appendix. It's like if you tag off of something, it's like getting appendicitis, dude. You can get real bad. But sometimes, you know, it's for the speed you're going and for what you're doing, it doesn't have any effect at all. So I made a Y cable, and it fucking works, dude. I was pretty pleased with it, dude. It's called a triage station. So basically, you just make a rolling cart that will fucking attach to anything and run anything. And then you got a triage station. Works well. That was fun. Now I got 4 more that are like 95% complete. They don't have signage and shit, but as I'm going, I put sticky notes on there. I validate everything. It validated this function, validated this function, validated this function, and then I put sticky notes for the things that aren't validated yet, so the next guy knows. You gotta test this, you gotta test that, this, that, and the other. I'm building the fucking armada. I want to have about like 20 of them at the fucking ready. You figure you got one person working at a station. You got some operation takes like 20 minutes. You know, if they don't go take a shit, and they don't take breaks, and they don't have lunch, you might get 3 done an hour. Alright? If it's an 8-hour shift, dude, that's not many, dude. That's like 24. But you gotta shave 4 off for out of process. So you might get 20 a day. Well, if you got 1,000 to process, 20 a day does not fucking get you there. You know? It just simply doesn't get you there. Let's see, how many would it take? 5 days to get 150 days. Now that actually can work in some instances, like depending on how fast you're consuming shit. But if you're consuming shit quickly, you gotta fucking speed up. And there's only so many people available. So if you just make 10 of the same station, and that shit takes 20 minutes, doing some kind of fucking god-awful who knows what, all of a sudden it becomes feasible. You're shaving everything down by an order of magnitude. So 50 days becomes 5 days. That's still a long ass time. But that's for 1,000. Lots of shit to process. Doing 10 at a time? 10 every 20 minutes. It's 30 an hour, dude. 30 an hour is better than 3 an hour. By any math. So, step 1. Remember I explained that there's plan A, B, C, D, E, and F. Plan F is failure. That is not an option. Plan E is emergency. That is fucking embarrassing, but you prepare for it. How do you prepare for emergency? Well, the way you handle an emergency is you have to be in a position to accept help. Okay? That's how you survive an emergency. That's how you turn what could be a fucking life-threatening emergency into just a fucked up day. Alright? How do you accept help? First, you must have shelter. That's a spot where people can come to help you. Second, you must have fucking tools and materials, right? Meters and crimpers and fucking tweezers and soldering stations. Like, I got 3 soldering stations if I need to. And me and everyone else, we keep up on our fixes. You know how we do that? By regularly doing it. Yeah, I could fucking send out. Yeah, I could put 8 adapters together. Yeah, I could fucking respin, but it's better to grab something and lap solder to it and train a new guy how to do it. Train a new guy how to do it. Train a new guy how to do it. Before you know it, dude, I got 10 guys who can fucking lap solder anything. Lap soldering's not that easy. It involves fixturing and fluxing, and cleaning and inspecting, not overheating, right? So to accept help, you gotta have shelter, tools and materials. Then you gotta have a fucking goal. You gotta be able to articulate what the fuck it is you want to defuck or unfuck. You need prep time. So you have to always be prepared for an emergency. Well, that's your fucking materials on hand and your tools. Because no one can help you if you don't have shit. You know, you're gonna lose 3 to 7 days right off the bat. Can't do that. Not acceptable. You have to have already developed relationships, meaning you know who can help. Because sometimes people come to help and they hinder. Like, I hate to pick on them, but there was a day at Cobalt Robotics where we just needed to get these first 2 fucking robots out the door. It was a fresh build. And so one engineer had sat down and built all the cables from scratch. He did it because he wanted to know the cables, check the crimpers, check the activity, make sure he had all the de-pinning tools, you know, shake it down, make sure he had the right fucking kit, and audit the fucking pin out at the same time and bring everything up as he went. Then he needed 2 more. Well, that's a lot of fucking crimping. So usually what you do is you hand off to one of your 1, 2, or 3, or 5 technicians who are seasoned, who can fucking crimp all day. In this case, we had a crimping party where we got out about $5,000 in hand crimpers and all kinds of reels of pins and sockets and all kinds of fucking bags of housings and printed all kinds of drawings, and everybody from the VP down to the fucking secretary were in there trying to fucking crimp wires. Jesus fucking Christ. We're never doing anything like that again. It went terribly wrong, dude. I think a mechanical engineer, dude, here's the funny thing, a mechanical engineer can't crimp a fucking wire to save their life. I know like 2 mechanical engineers who can crimp. They just don't do it. They just don't know how. Like Paul can crimp for sure. And I probably know a few mechanical engineers, but a lot of them, dude, they don't crimp, dude. Like they understand it in principle, but they've got no practical experience. Software engineers do not crimp. Crimp, pinch and wire. You got to get your wire, cut it to the fucking correct length, strip it back, fucking comb the wire, get the right crimper, get the right fucking terminal. Your wire and insulator have to match your terminal. You lay it in, you inspect, you fucking ratchet crimp it, you back it off, you inspect carefully, you insert into the housing in the right slot, you pull test. How many fucking wires? How much shit have I fucking populated? You think I don't know how to populate a fucking housing, dude? Are you joking? I think that shit's funny, dude. I meet people who are like new by my, you know, maybe 3 or 5 years experience, and they're like fucking nervous, and I'm like, dude, my first job was fucking cable monkey on a nuclear weapons program. Like, yeah, I'm a little familiar with crimping and fucking housings and fucking crimp standards, and yeah, I know. Doesn't mean I won't make a janky cable. Fucking hot glue that bitch. Anyways, you gotta know your people and who can help and who can hinder, and then you call upon them. So that means you need to know their supervisors and have some kind of fucking barter going. And you get in a pinch and you're in E for emergency, and you fucking throw like 5x at it, dude. Like if you got 5 people, you throw 25 people at it, dude. You have a lot of space and a lot of tools and a lot of materials. A few people will be standing around. Anybody wanders off, let them go. Don't go chasing after them. You find the people who ask for forgiveness and not for permission and make good decisions. That's who I go after. I don't want to tell anybody what to do. I don't want to have to tell them what not to do. I want people who just know what to do. You surround yourself with people who are experienced and know what to do. And one attribute I look for is people who will train other people. So I'll have more people who know what to do. Right? You fucking build it. So rolling back from E for emergency and F for failure. You got A, B, C, D. Plan A never fucking happens. Alright? If you've been jacking off for 45 days on plan A, 0% complete. learn after a while not to spend so much time planning, spend more time doing, and that more will be revealed. There's a place for planning. The only way planning works is in total and complete discipline. There's plenty of places like that. Startup world, not so much. Fucking more will be revealed, dude. You don't know till it's fucking done, right? Like whatever it is, if it's a EVT build or a DVT build or a PVT build, if it's fucking, you know, a new engineer or a seasoned engineer or a project handed off or a new feature or a fucking, who knows, right? Shit does not go to plan. You take what you can get. There's some benches available, grab them. There's some fucking racks available, grab them. There's some chairs available, scrape the boogers off and use them. You gotta be not scared to spend. Costs money, dude. It takes money to make money. You have to fucking commit. Half measures availed us nothing. That's a saying you might know. We found that half measures availed us nothing. You have to fucking commit to what you're gonna do and do it. And by God, I hope you had a good plan, because we're fucking doing it, right? The plan is go. So plan A doesn't really happen. It puts you into B, C, and D. Plan B is usually where you're at. Plan B ain't perfect, dude. You can do better. And nobody needs a Monday morning quarterback to fucking wait around and point out every way it could have been better. Nobody wants to hear that shit. We already fucking know. We know how to make a plan A. Plan A only happens in a fucking vacuum, dude. Plan A usually never happens. Plan B and C are what usually happen. Plan D is harsh. Plan D is like, you got a guy twisting the wires together and untwisting and twisting and untwisting because you don't even have fucking connectors. And he's getting electrocuted each time he does it, dude, with like 68 volts, you know, like something just over the threshold. We're like, you know, it's probably all right, like 72 volts. That's my favorite, dude. 72 volts is technically over the fucking safe limit, right? Safe limit 60 volts. Twisting together 72 volt wires, right? On a bad day, he's getting zapped with hamburger grease fingers. No fucking automation at all. You're fucking taking measurements, not with the DMM, which is like a fluke, with like a fucking a non-auto ranging multimeter from Harbor Freight or AutoZone, right? Bought up the street, 10 of them a few minutes ago. The leads are already fucking fraying, right? And you don't have a fucking power supply. You've got like some dude's personal power supply that he brought in that's like transformer based with like a sticky dial, and it fucking jumps around and shit. Like you set that shit at like 14 volts, and as it warms up, the voltage starts to rise. You know, you're like 18 volts, like half an hour in, like, oh fuck, you know? It's got like super low current limit, dude. You know what I mean? You got the wrong tools, and but you're fucking doing it. You're unblocking. That's a plan D. That in the absence of plan D, you're lying down. So plan D is a place you don't want to be. That just shows a fucking fundamental lack of preparedness. So now you're looking at plan B and plan C. Plan B is like a janky version of plan A. Plan C is an under-delivery, but it technically works. So for a plan C, you might need to have people going 24 hours a day, and you might have to really be on it, and you're constantly causing fucking delay, and it's just not rad, you know? And you're fucking 9 weeks out on shit you need, and it's fucking not happening. Like, plan C, or so plan, like, you better have a plan E at Tesla. Plan F is totally off the fucking table. In fact, they won't even let you do it. There's so many people at Tesla that they will push you out of the room and take your fucking position and fucking do it for you, dude, right? That's plan E. Plan D and plan C are not acceptable. You're looking at fucking plan A, plan B. Like, Tesla's a place where you might actually run plan A. You can do enough cycles, you could hit a plan A. But Tesla's not a startup company anymore. They've got everything you fucking need in-house, dude. Tons of people. It's the same kind of thing at the National Lab, dude. Like, 1,000 people right there. You need someone who knows some obscure shit, you just gotta fucking call them up. Plan B is like not slowing anything down, but maybe it ain't pretty, you know? Maybe it ain't quite as automated as it should be. So slightly manual, but still fast. So plan B is not automated, so manual, but still just as fast as automated. So still getting the job done, right? Still fucking getting it done. Not the fucking hold up. Plan A is like spectacular, fucking awesome. Exactly what we were aiming at. Plan B turns into plan A. It's better to do plan B first because more will be revealed. You will fucking figure it out. Like, on this particular venture that I'm talking about, which is just adventures and test, right? And it can be tested anything. Like for instance, one component might be giving you some trouble because, you know, somebody ordered the wrong batch and didn't realize it, but you figured out a rework, and so, but now you need to check the rework. You know what I mean? You get to set something up. You got to set up a screening. It's very, very common. It happens all the fucking time. You set up a small screening and touch everything. Make sure it was done right. Basic test. Totally forgot what my point was going to be. Oh. So, if you do a plan B first, like, just more will be revealed. You set something up, and I know, I was gonna tell you. So things don't go to plan. This is what you gotta know. It's like plan A is fucking great, right? Until 300 cables don't show up. It's a real story, you know? I don't tell too many real stories, but this one's I don't tell too many real stories in real time. This is a real story, you know, it was last month. 300 cables didn't show up. That's a lot of cables not to show up, right? But we got fucking capable people. Started banging them out. Like 2 professional cable builders working full-time every day for weeks, and then like 7 guys learning how to do it on the job. And not always with the correct materials, but it's not for production, so it's just for tests. So for tests, you can break all the rules, so long as it fucking works. Like, in production, if you've got the crimps that are for 24 to 26 AWG and for PVC insulator, that's what you have to use. You cannot put like silly wire in there. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be the right fucking materials. But for test, dude, 24 to 26 AWG crimps, I can fucking stuff that with what did I say it was? 26 to 24. I could stuff that with 22 AWG. I could stuff that with 20 AWG. I could stuff that with 18 AWG. It's still get a good fucking crimp. It will hold together, depending on how fucking heavy the material of the pin or socket material is. I could put 28 in there. I could put 30 in there, right? You fucking grab what you have and you consume it. So one point of honor is to constantly upcycle. Like, I needed to make a bunch of small ESD mats. Well, I could have went and fucking cut into the roll of really expensive ESD cable, but instead I saw someone else making full-size ESD mats. It's like, oh, great, perfect. I approached him. I was like, hey, you know, what are you doing with your scrap? And he's like, I like this guy, dude. He's like, I don't throw away anything. And he points at the very top of like an 8-foot rack. He's like, it's all up there. I was like, oh, is there any way I could have your scrap? Because I'm building, you know, these crash carts. I was like, I could really use things. He's like, well, what size? I was like, I don't know, about this big, you know, a couple feet by like 6 inches or 8 inches or 12 inches or whatever. He's like, oh yeah, check it out. And I climb up there on the ladder, and fucking sure as shit, just as perfect as can be, is a big fat fucking stack of really nice, ready to go, little fucking square, little rectangles of the exact ESD mat I need with a fucking button on there. It's like, dude, how perfect's that? Like 20 of them, exactly what I need. And that was waste. Now some other people will throw that right into the trash, and then I have to go cut more of the new stuff, and then someone ends up short later. It's like, you gotta fucking scrap. So sometimes, you know, like engineering or early build will purchase the wrong shit. You know, they'll get some wire and they get it, and it's like they thought it was fucking 28 strand and it's actually 7 stranded, or they thought it was like, you know, gonna have an OD of a certain size and it's like bigger because it's a different, you know, it's a double insulator or whatever. It's just not fit for production. You consume that shit, dude. Sometimes it's like 1,000 feet of fucking tinned, you know, high strand count, fucking high temperature, high voltage, real nice wire. You know what happens if you don't consume it and test? Well, maybe it goes over to engineering, dude, if you're lucky. Then it'll just sit there for fucking ever, right? Because every engineer buys their own shit. It'll get fucking dispositioned, dude. It'll get fucking thrown into fucking e-waste bin. Like, you don't leave shit sitting around that's not in production. So you salvage that shit. I go around do shopping, bro. When they clear a lot, like when you do a line change, these fucking changeover, dude, shopping trip. I don't shop with like a fucking basket, dude. I shop with like an 8-foot by fucking 30-inch giant fucking 8-foot tall rolling rack, dude, and I fill that thing up. And fucking those are my materials, dude. Heat shrink, wire, fucking tool sets where like the only, you know, like lots of times in production you're only using like, you buy a tool set with like 8 tools and you're only using 2 of them and you use the fuck out of them. Well, all those other ones are still sitting there. There's nothing wrong with them, dude. They're good tools. You know, usually they're really good tools. And hey, the missing ones, either you go without them or you pick up a couple at Harbor Freight to fill out the kit. It ain't perfect, but hey, that's another fucking torque set. That's another Allen set, right? That you can hand to somebody to get work done. You be picking up long lost power supplies and freaking, you know, like shit that people don't recognize as valuable on a production line. Like fucking, some fucking lonely fucking scope probes, dude, you know? Some alligator clips, like freaking solder paste, you know, like fucking just random shit, dude. Just gets pushed out. Like nice fucking RTVs and adhesives, freaking good tape dispensers, you know, people, it's like when the line changes over, they don't fucking need that shit anymore. And if it's not like an established process, it gets fucking dispositioned, dude. So I go shopping, pick all that up, put it to good work, dude. Use it at a very minimum, use it to train new people. This is Kapton tape. It's polyimide. It's used on batteries and spaceships. It has a 5,000 volt standoff. It's 1 mil thick. It has a special acrylic adhesive, or a silicone. Yeah, I thought it used to be a silicone adhesive that doesn't leave any sticky residue behind ever. It doesn't debond down to like minus 60 degrees C and up to like 300 C. It's super high temperature. It's translucent. It can be layered. Sticks to itself well. Doesn't require surface prep. Sticks to everything. Freaking like 1 mil of Kapton. It's kind of like painter's tape for electrical engineers. It's really fucking nice. And you can get it in thicker. The thicker stuff doesn't work as good. You're better off with like 5 layers of 1 mil Kapton. All right, you know, that's Kapton tape. Well, what's this over here? That's 3M double sticky tape. Well, it ain't double sticky tape. That's 3M pressure sensitive foam adhesive tape, dude. It's a tape made of foam, so it's compliant, so it doesn't fucking shock easy. Right? That's its secret. It's not a thin tape. It's a thick tape. It's like a 1/10 of an inch thick, and it's activated by pressure, and so you literally have to hold it down for like 10 or 30 seconds to activate it. And once activated, it is a permanent bond. It is really good shit. It has dampening properties. If you got two things that are kind of vibrating, yeah, dude, it won't resonate through. And the seal can be broken, but I mean, it might fucking delaminate, you know, whatever you're attached to. Like, it's really strong tape, and you have to fucking get a pry bar under it, and then once it starts going, it will go. But it doesn't fucking shear, dude. There's like, shear is fucking incredible on it, and direct pull away is incredible. Like, the only way to break it is to fucking lever it, dude, and you start a delam and then you continue it. It's called VHB, very high bond tape. Yeah, you gotta roll a VHB. You teach another guy, this here is capped on, this here is VHB. Don't fuck around. You got packing tape and strapping tape, you know? You got scotch tape. You don't use any black tape, dude. There's no black tape. That's for electricians. No black tape. Still haven't played with any UV cure. I don't know why. I think I need to get into UV cure glues. That's the only glue I haven't explored. And we need to get into some more polyurethane. I haven't really got deep into polyurethane. Had a real bad, we'll repeat this, a real bad epoxy experience. The day we went to Home Depot and bought $100 worth of fucking glue. That shit sucked, dude. Was it Loctite brand or was it what brand was it? I think it was JB Weld brand, dude, which is terrifying. It was a clear 2-minute epoxy and it mixes in the tube. You don't have to, it has no pot life, dude. It fucking sets up by the time you start mixing it. It's supposed to. And it fucking didn't mix in the tube, dude. Like 40% of it, or 30%, or 20% was no mix, dude. Oh, fuck. That fucking sucked. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, Plan D. Go ahead and plan on being on Plan B. Plan B turns into Plan A because more will be revealed. You're on Plan A until your cables don't show up. You're on Plan A until you lose your work area. Right? You're on Plan A until you realize that, like, you have to do a bunch of new jobs because the other plan changed. Like, Plan A only works in conjunction with all of the plans. If any of the plans change, you're immediately on Plan B or Plan C. You'll take any port in a storm. Me, I can work with an $8 soldering iron, and I can work with an $800 soldering iron. I can work with a chisel tip, and I can work with a fucking micro tip. But what I need is a goddamn good microscope. I got one. I got lucky. There was, the quality department had a bunch of really nice, old school sliders. This is a stereo microscope that slides in and out, which makes it really nice because otherwise it's fixed and you're fucked. And it I don't know, it's got like 9 or 10 inches of clearance. That's what you need. And you can always go up higher. It's got a big base weight. I got one at home. Usually they have a camera port in the top, but I just take camera shots through the fucking eye hole. I got a beautiful sliding stereo microscope because they switched over to these days you can buy like a high definition camera basically with variable focus lens. You know, you can like zoom and focus, and they switched off to that because it's just easier, you know, to do inspection. And so I got to inherit a nice stereo microscope. I had purchased a a cheapy Amazon, and I always know the way those go, right? Those cheapy fucking like $30 or $60 whatever fucking little digital microscope. Such a piece of shit. Like you could, like it had two lights and it had up and down and it had zoom and it had focus. And I mean, the one thing is it did have the ability to take picture and take video, which was kind of useful just for a little bit of documenting. But like the only way to get, like it just didn't have any depth. Like the only way to get a good shot out of it was to aim the lights horizontal sideways and then cock the board at 45 degrees, which then of course fucks up your focal point, right? Because you can't move left and right. You have to keep focusing as you move left and right. But then I could see like some of the detail I wanted to see, but I'm used to having a much better microscope than that. Best microscopes are full face. You just put your whole fucking face in there. And those are really expensive. They're like $10,000. I don't like digital scopes. They don't give you the same depth of focus and depth of vision. Like you just can't see what you can see with a real scope. Scope? I'm thinking oscilloscope. Microscope. I don't know. That's what it's like. Today was a good day. Got shit done. Met new people. I'm building a fucking army. I prefer outcasts myself. Pirates. Nope, just got my gas beep. I mostly work on teams with foreign nationals for the last 15 years. Like, most teams are primarily foreign national. That's just the way it is in the Bay Area startup community. People come from all over to work together. Oh fuck, things are fucked up over here. People from all over, dude. Philippines, and Thailand, and India, and Ukraine, and Canada, and Mexico, and fucking everywhere, dude. All over the Middle East. Lately, I've been working with Norwegians, Canadians, Indians, or people from India. They're not Indians, are they? People from India. India's a big place, dude. There's like major different sectors, different people from India. Germans. Some people from like Russia and Ukraine. People from Mexico. I don't know where a lot of people are from. And a lot of people who emigrate here are mixed, you know? So like, you can't tell by looking at them. And usually you can't tell even by listening to their accent, because they come from a mixed family, so they might already speak like 2 different languages, and then they also speak English, but they've been doing it for 10 or 15 years or 20 years. So like, they just have like a, you know, an amalgamation accent and appearance. You can't tell. People from China. Philippines. Vietnam. Vietnam is emerging as a, you know, they're going through their tech phase. trip, dude. China fucking dug in, dude, to our business. Like, it's pretty much really fucking difficult to compete with them. They're basically running slave labor rates, like $6-7 an hour, and we got to pay like $30 or $60 an hour. You know, and materials costs are cheaper. You get what you pay for, but there's a markup. It's not that Chinese stuff is cheaper. There's a big old fucking markup on American materials, dude. And they're always got a bunch of shit you don't need, dude. Like, you need some fucking aluminum plate, right? In China, you can get the raw goods. Might still have the fucking cutting oil on it, you know? That makes it ship better. Like, if it's steel, it comes greased or oiled, you know? Because otherwise it's gonna fucking rust. You get it raw, right from the fucking source. It's always good, dude. But try to buy the same shit in the US and it's like, oh, it's gotta have some special coating on it. Fucking, and then you just have to grind that off, and or it's gotta be fucking anodized, and it's all fucking, you know, fucking just a bunch of value add that you don't need. Like, you get raw materials from China, alright, it's got sharp corners. Okay, so what? You know, you buy that shit from the UK, it's got like homologation, like not just chamfer, like not just rounded, but like three-dimensionally rounded corners, and not just anodized, but like heavy anodized, and not just like, you know, countersunk, but like fucking finished, fucking, you know, like smooth as a baby's butt, and not just tapped, but like tapped to spec, like, you know, not a fucking burr. Like, you buy shit from China, there's a few burrs in there, dude, you know, like whatever didn't get wiped off on the 3-pass method, you know, you just fucking flick it out of there, poke it out of there with a stick. But you buy some shit from the UK, it costs like 5 times as much, dude, and everything is like fucking laser stamped, and you know what I mean? It's like, fuck, bro, shit in fucking Europe's expensive. It's not worth it. It's pretty hard to compete with China. If you're buying around here, shit's coming from China. Even if you fucking buy it local. They're just bringing in container loads and storing it in a yard and cutting it with a fucking laser or a water jet, and then post-processing it and selling it to you at an upcharge. You just do that yourself. Still uneasy about my tires. I don't know how I was getting that fucking flat. It seems to have cured itself. But after the rear end came around, I've been real fucking nervous. Like, you'll notice I'm steering in late and I'm going easy. Just waiting to fucking have the rear end come around on me again. I don't know what the fuck happened. It takes a long time to build your confidence in a vehicle after it fucking lets out on you. I kind of like to drive home late at night. I didn't like to drive in. Left at 9. No, I left at 8:40. Took an hour and 20 minutes. across to Monterey today. Right there, you can see all the way across the water. If they trim those trees a little bit, you'll be able to see the whole bay. That's one cool thing about Santa Cruz is that all the trees are still here, so the view is blocked. So you don't see the view until you're there, unless you know exactly where to look on a clear day. Even on a clear, it's usually, even if you find the view, it's fogged in. We're gonna hit the fish hook up here. This is the end of Highway 17. It terminates right into Santa Cruz, Ocean Street. So if you take this fish hook right here, you're going one south towards Monterey, Big Sur, like Moss Landing. That's where our power plant is, and the biggest battery. It used to be the biggest battery in the world. It burned down. It wasn't Elon's shit that burned down. It was some guys from Texas. They didn't have their fucking safety shit going. That Moss Landing battery fire, that doesn't happen if you actually wired a plant. It simply doesn't happen. You don't get a fucking thermal runaway. What's it cost to buy a 500 channel data logger with temperature sensors and feed it up into a fucking dashboard with 50 lines of Python that screams bloody fucking murder if you go over a certain temperature? Well, they didn't have that. Or it was sabotage. One of the two. Very easily have been sabotage. Either way, they're not fucking talking. If you didn't take this fish hook here, you'd be going north on one. That's towards San Francisco, Half Moon Bay, Moss Landing. All those spots I've taken you to, all those times. We don't get to go on adventures like that. Not for the last 5 years. Not with Kimberly trying to get pregnant and getting pregnant and being pregnant and having a baby and having a 1-year-old and having a 2-year-old and having a 3-year-old. Now we got a 4-year-old. She's just starting to swim. And most things I do involve swimming. That's my sport. I don't mean swimming laps. I mean getting into the ocean, dude. Precarious places. Fucking going for it. My son could be a stronger ocean survivor, but he can sail by himself, and he can boogie board good enough to catch a wave. He can hop rocks and climb jetties. His balance is great. He was walking a wall the other day. I watched him climb up on a wooden fence that was like kind of rickety, kind of like wiggly, like a wiggly wooden fence, and was walking it, dude, like, I don't know, 4 feet off the ground, 5 feet off the ground with like, bushes and scrubble all around him. Like if he would have fallen, he, wouldn't have been rad. But he was walking it. That was rad. We do shit like that. We just go places and we climb things and we scramble things and we rappel down things and we go out onto slippery rocks and we go out into wait till low tide and go into sea caves and go out onto reefs and check out tide pools, and I go out and I'll surf. I bodyboard the bigger waves. Usually wetsuit adventures. So it's a Schindler Engineering adventure if I'm telling you about your wetsuit and your booties. This involves like fins and booties and wetsuits. My wife, my son, and I, soon my daughter, is dangerous. Shit's for real, dude. That's how you don't get hurt. You spend your whole life, dude. If you spent your whole life on a river, you don't get hurt on a river, dude. You spend your whole life on the ocean, you don't get hurt in the ocean. You spend your whole life in the inner city, you know how to operate in the inner city. My kids are experienced. They're naive in a lot of ways, but I've experienced them. I've given them experiences in the areas I know, are important and build into other things. Like my 4-year-old has like 50 flights under her belt. Round trip. My 13-year-old has like 200 flights. They know how the airport works. You know, they know how long drives work. Don't trip on it at all. It's normal. They know how to go to a restaurant, not trip out. How to go to a new place and check it out. Always down for an adventure. With my kids, I just pull over some spot like right here, dude. You see that fence? Well, we just go fucking start walking it until we find the bum trail. Right? Here's a bum. Well, bums come and go from the bum trails. That's how you get down to the creek. Bum trail to the creek. Find a couple bum forts. You know, maybe find a couple bums. Get on down to the creek. Start hopping rocks. Find a big old, you know, you walk a quarter mile up, find a big old patch of berries. Picking berries, eating berries. Get on the railroad tracks, dude. Nature trails. Pull off anywhere on Highway 1. Head down to the water. There's an adventure at every turn around here. This is a desirable place to live, dude. This is a very desirable place to live. Yeah, it's a little cold sometimes. Yeah, it's foggy. That's what makes it so fucking desirable. Orange County, that whole fucking Southern California swath, is an undesirable place to live. It's fucking hot. Dude, it's hot. So you winter in Orange County and San Diego, that whole area, Southern California. And you summer in Santa Cruz, where it's cool in the summer. Santa Cruz summer is in like October. It gets hot around here. Up in the mountains. We get like 6 hot days a year down here by the water. See, it doesn't even feel like you're by the ocean, huh? You can walk to the ocean from here. We're at the ocean. The ocean's right here. I live on the water. It's fucking nice. Go check the rates at the Harbor Inn, dude. Jesus Christ. Anything down here is so expensive. Here's the last stoplight before the water. It's the harbor. I wouldn't call it a harbor district. Just a harbor. Nice small one. 20-year wait for a slip.